Hello. Good morning, friends. Am I a little earlier or I'm miss before time? I think it is 12.
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So, friends, I welcome you all for 25th lecture. Today, I will not bore you too much, but it is not my fault. Actually, that subject is like that. But still, this is the last unit, means third unit, where you have to think in different way than other subjects. In most of other subjects, what you do, you learn the algorithm and you interpret them in different way. You try to implement it. But here, what is happening? We are practicing that implementation on particular theoretical example, and we are building something. We are computing something as per the algorithm. So we have due to some problems, maybe due to the not online lectures, uh, uh, I may have to cover a particular problem in multiple parts. Means it is not possible to cover single problem in single shot, single lecture, because there were certain actually it is difficult in face to face. We can do it very in 1 hour only. That's not a problem. So I start. So before going ahead, just I wish you that you should raise your hand so that I will understand everybody is listening me. You are able to see the first slide on the board and you are able to see my face in corner. Thank you, Sakshi, Bhattar, Kushbu, Shruti, Nayan, Om, Chinmay, Abhishek, Swaraj, Radhika, Shivani, Rasika, Prasad, Sakshi, Mandar, Suyog. So there are very few people anyway. We can begin with tell them to download the PPTs and videos. They can cover whatever they have missed if they join late or maybe whatever. So let us begin. So today agenda is very simple. Whatever the example I have shared you in terms of PDF on your WhatsApp group. See, I have shared 6 or 7 pages on WhatsApp. So that is something called as a tutorial. In tutorial, what happens? There is some example and there is a descriptive description how to solve that algorithm is example, and steps are there, detailed steps are there, and example is solved. So tutorial helps you to solve other examples because there are other similar examples. So you can refer this tutorial. So and you will learn. I think you should learn how to write. There are different notations. Uh, means how to write the LR0 atom set, how to club them, how to collect the go-to statements, how to construct the parsing table. Because this problem is little long. A lot many things are there. Parsing table construction is there. First and follow site computation is there. A lot many things are there, and you have to club all these things while doing some parsing, actual parsing on particular input string. So today we are going to understand how parser moves with example. And actually I have already provided it, but I will try to interpret it in more simpler way so that uh, you will understand it in a very easy way. And if you understand this SLR moves, then it is very easy. Actually, a little modification. There is a CLR, that is canonical LR parsing, and just by little modification or tweaking, there is a LALR, means look ahead LR parser. Uh, that is bottom of parsing. So today's example is important. So this was the example. Means actually I have deliberately divided this example into 5 parts. Means to compute the first and follow set, then construct the DFA and go to function, then construct the parsing table. Then fourth part is there to process strings like CDD and CDCD and CCD and show that particular word is belonging to the given language or grammar. So all these things we are going to see today. please note that in exam, they don't ask you this complete thing. They will ask you only one part or two parts at a time, maybe for 7 marks or 10 marks. They cannot ask you complete problem. Actually, this is a heavy problem, longer problem. So they may ask you only simply to compute the first and follow set, or maybe draw the DFA, or maybe they will give you parsing table and then you have to show the processing. Means any one of the part can be asked in exam, not complete. So uh, relax. Otherwise, the solution to such problem is more than 7-8 pages if you write in particular proper typical uh, methodical way. So anyway, this was a diagram. We know that there are dots. We are moving the dots one place ahead, and sometimes there is a dot in the beginning. Sometimes dot is at the end. Anyway, in this way, we have generated the canonical set of items, and we have generated something called as a go to of one state to new state, current state to the new state. So corresponding states are given there. Even in that note, or if you download previous PPTs or PDFs, you will get the same thing. Sometimes I have to repeat, so forgive me for this. Anyway, so what I want to say is that if you want to construct the DFA, you should have on one side all the go-tos. Without that, you cannot correctly draw the go-tos. Again, you should have the grammar along with the numbers, production rule numbers. Then once you have all these three things, then you can construct the parsing table like this. Okay, you also need the first and follow set to construct the parsing table that we are going to see. So I just suggest every time that you should read the original algorithm. Doesn't matter. Many times what happens, if you read the original algorithm, you may feel a little awkward that, and you will not understand it clearly. But if you solve 2-3 examples in a typical way, then there is nothing something complex or difficult to understand. It is very, very simple. You have to just trust on me as well as yourself also. So anyway, I have written this in a different way. Don't worry that whether you are not able to see the DFA and go-tos and whatever. But I suppose you are able to see the table, parsing table. Now here, we are constructing the parsing table. I'm just revising certain things. Here in parsing, when you want to construct the parsing table, you need everything at your disposal on one page. I don't say okay, you should draw something like this maze on in exam theory exam. That is not good. But see, there is a DFA, go-tos are there, grammar is there, and some steps are there. See, I have collected 3 sets like I4, I5, and I6. So these are the boxes. These are the boxes. Hello. So these are the boxes. Now these are the boxes or a set of items which contains dot at the end. See, C5. There is I5, means sorry, I5 state means 5 number state. S is giving you capital C, and dot. Means CC dot. Means dot is there at the end. Then there is a state number 1 is there, where there is only one production rule containing S dash giving you arrow, capital S and dot. Like this. Why we require this? We require this to map the follow items, right? Follow items. Now, only 3 states are there, and again 6 is there, 4 is there. In 4, C arrow D dot, D is smaller d. So in I4th state, that is I4. So, and there is a corresponding rule number. See, if you see the I5, So production rule is a S capital CC. So if you refer the grammar, it is a rule number 1. If you go for the I4, there is a production C D dot, whose number is a 3. You can refer it, right? So it is there in above the parsing table. It may be in small letters. It visible to you. The people who are using mobile phone, they may be facing the difficulties, but that don't worry about it. I have already sent you the PDF. You can then enlarge it and learn it. Now, what I want to say is that here you can understand what is the LHS and RHS of the production rules. Here C is a LHS right hand side. Means what I want to say, try to understand what is a handle in this. So capital C, capital S, and capital C is there. And their follow set atoms are given there in blue. So for example, C has a follow atoms, small c, small d, and dollar symbol. Capital S has a follow atom only dollar, because as per the rule, if it is a start symbol, add dollar into the follow set of that particular symbol. Again, C is there in third line. It contains C, D, and dollar. So, and rules are there. So C to D, rule number 3. S to SCC, rule number 1. And C to small c and capital C dot at the end. So rule number 2 is there, right? So these are in the boxes I4, I5, and I6. So these are the states. Now see state number 0 to 1 in this table. Refer the table. Yellow part is there and bluish part is there. So states are there 0 to 6. We know that 0 is a start state. Now, you know, small c and small d are the terminals. So you have to just see the transition table. So see I0 is your initial state. So what is happening on the terminal? Terminal is a small c. Don't think about the capital letters right now. Capital letters are mapping the go-tos. So terminal is a small c. So on small c, you are switching from 0 to 3, right? And small d, you are switching from I0 to I4. That's why I have written here in a blue color S3 and S4 in the C and D column. I hope you are able to understand. Now dollar is there. I have kept dash there because there is no transition from I0. So you have to only map the transitions which are available in the DFA. So these are the, in action table, you are mapping shift transitions with next state. So S3 means, S means shift, 3 means next state is state number 3. In same way, S4 means shift and next state is a state number 4, like this. Now in go to part, in capital S there is 1 and in capital C there is 2. So just again go to the diagram from I0 to I1 on input capital S. You are going to the I1 state, right? There is a transition. It is visible. I don't know whether you are able to see my mouse transitions or not, but hope you can understand or follow what I am talking. So I0 on input capital S, you are going to I1. That's why I have written here 1 in go to S. And again on I0 capital C, there is a I2. Means next state is a second state. So I have written there 2. So that's it, first row. Now consider this second row, row number 1, state number 1. So in state I1, there is no outgoing transition, right? It is only incoming. Then second thing is that there is a production rule S dash. Now you know that S dash is a start symbol. Again, the production contains dot at the end. So it is an indication that your parsing is complete. So what we are doing, we are putting accept in the dollar column, and we are putting dash in C and D column. That's it. So in this way, we have covered state number 1. Now let us go again in state number 2. Now in I2, on on small c, you are going into I3. So that's why we have written S3. Then again, from I2 on small d as an input, you are going to S4. That is there. Then in dollar column, we have kept dash. Now just check I2 से कौन से capital letter as a input पे हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं. So from I2 on capital input C, you are going to I5. That's why go to is mapped with 5. So I2 on input capital C, you are going to I5. That's why C5 is written in C, go to part. So in this way, we have to fill the action part as well as go to part at a time. So best way is to consider the terminals first and then the capital letters means non-terminals. So terminals for mapping the actions and go to for mapping the non-terminals. In the same way, go for the I3 state. I3 state contains 3 production rules where the dot is there and all that. But if you see on C, you are going to in same state. See, we are considering third state. So on input C, you are going in same state. That's why it is S3 in blue color. On D, you are switching to the fourth state. That's why it is a S4. In dollar, there is a dash. Then on capital C, you are switching to the sixth state. It is not visible in this diagram, but later you can see. That's why 6 is written. See, there are some columns in go to part where I have not written anything. Even I'm not putting any dash here. It is not advisable. You can put dash if there is an error situation in action part, not in go to part. So it is a custom. It is not a rule. It is a custom not to write any dot or dash in blank columns. It should be blank only. But in case of action part, you must write dash. It indicates that there is some syntax error. Now just think about the state number 4. Now see, in state number 4, there is only one production rule. It contains C arrow D dot. It means that dot is at the end. It means that you have processed the canonical items over there. You are not able to generate any more new states. You cannot move from I4 to any other state. Means you can reach into I4, but from I4 you cannot reach to other state. But there might be some other state where you can move from I to J, J to X, like. So because dot is there at the end. So if dot is at the end in the state, then you have to map the follow atoms. That's the simple rule. If dot is not at the end, then you have to map only first atoms. If dot is there in all the production rules. Luckily here only one production rule is there. If there are multiple production rules, and if all production rule contains dot at the end, then you have to map all the follow atoms. तो C का follow क्या है? C का follow है C, D and dollar. And that's why we are writing in red R3. Why R3? R3 is a rule number. So C, D, as per the grammar, it is a third production rule. That's why we are writing here R3. So all the follow items like C, small d and dollar are mapped with R3 in red color. See, in exam, you don't use different colors. It is not necessary because teacher know what is there. It is only for understanding. It is for only simplification anyway. Now see the state number 5. Now in state number 5, there are no further transitions from state 5. Once you reach into state 5, you cannot go anywhere else from state 5. Again, uh, there is a production rule like S arrow CC dot, dot is at the end. So see the follow atoms of S, capital S. S is a non-terminal. So you will find that S has only one follow atom, that is dollar, right? Dollar is only one follow atom. Now S to CC. So what is rule number? It is rule number 1. From the grammar, it is given in a blue box. So in this way, you have mapped only dollar column. In the action part, you are keeping dash in C column, you are putting dash in D column, you are putting R1 in dollar column. Why? Because R is telling you it is a reduce action and reduced by rule number 1 as per that. In the same way, there is a sixth state number 6, which is not visible in this slide because parsing table is overlapping it. Now anyway, the rule is C giving you means C arrow small c and capital C. It is given in red. And the rule number is 2. Now C has a follow atoms C, small d, and dollar in blue color. I have just above the parsing table. So we have to map all the terminals C, D, and dollar with R2. R means reduce, 2 means reduced by rule number 2. So in this way, we have completed the construction of the parsing table. So I will still take 2 more examples on this SLR. Don't worry about it. But take this example as a model tutorial for you. I have given you a PDF. If the person he don't have a PDF, you download it from the WhatsApp. You write it in your copy. You must write it in your copy as a model answer and use this answer to solve other examples. So anyway, these slides gives you the construction of the parsing table. So whatever I told you, that is given here in a systematic algorithmic way. Means input is augmented grammar, output is a SLR parsing table with action and go to part method. All canonical items. C is a set which contains I0 to I6 states. We call them as LR0 atoms of G dash. Then there is a step number 2 is there. We are mapping with go to, means what we are doing. We are shifting dot one place ahead. So we are shifting that go to IA. You are switching to next state with action shift J, like. So I request you read the original algorithm from the book or from the slide and try to interpret it, whatever I told you. So to construct the parsing table is very simple. That's not difficult. And I will take one more example, 2 more examples, so it will help you. You will understand that it's not that much difficult. If some of you may feel that you are not still able to understand, don't worry about it. I will catch you in next examples. But I suggest you to download previous 1, 2, or 3 last PDFs because I have given quite theoretical background. Now, let us understand how to parse the given statement. So let us say there is a input token that is CDD dollar. So in this way, we require 8 steps to solve to parse the given string of tokens. So you must have parsing table ready on one side, and then you can parse the given statement like this. Again, parsing algorithm is there. I will tell you what is that. So this I have already supplied on WhatsApp. I will explain each step. So parsing table, then actions, So in exam, you don't need to, you should have some kind of table to, to show the moves of the parser. And you should mention the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, so that examiner can understand what you are doing, how you are computing as per the algorithm. So LR parsing algorithm is there, which is at the end. Again, through this slide, I just want to tell you, already you know already how the shift reduce parser works. Bottom-up parser is a kind of shift reduce parser, but it traverses, means it parses the given string in a reverse, means rightmost derivation in reverse order. We have seen few examples in first and second PDF. So here, through this slide, just understand what are we on to do. So shift means you can easily understand if there is some input, then you are switching to new state. For example, if you are in state number 0 and input is D, small t, then your next state is 4. Or if you are in state number 3, input is D, you are switching into state number 4, like this. So that is shift operation. Only reduce operation is difficult. Now we have already seen the theory. So if there is a reduce operation, what you have to do? You have to pop the elements from the stack. Now, how many elements you have to pop? As I told you, that it depends on the production rule, typical production rule by which you are doing the reduce operation. So there is a left hand side and right hand side. So you have to count the number of elements from the right hand side. So suppose your right hand side contains 3 elements, RHS of a production rule, say rule number n. Then you have to pop 6 items from the stack, right? You have to pop 6 items or twice n elements from the stack. N means length of the string on right hand side of particular production rule. And then you have to push the LHS. LHS means handle into the stack. Again, you have to compute the go to. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है, simply pop भी करना है आपको, push भी करना है, and then you have to compute the go to, means you have to compute the next state. अगर आपने समझा, मान लो 6th state, if you are in 6th state, you are doing the reduce operation, then what you have to do? आप 6th state में है, तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? उतने number of elements pop करना पड़ेगा, LHS push करना पड़ेगा, then you have to compute the go to, means you have to compute the next state. इसके बाद में क्या आएगा, कौन सा state रहेगा आपका, like that. Anyway, so this is I already have given you idea. So this is the algorithm. I suggest you go through it, but I will explain it through example. So this is standard algorithm. Try to practice to interpret the standard algorithms by authors. It gives you some insight, a thinking capability, interpretation capability. Don't rely only on simple examples. Anyway, before going to parse, I have to distribute some TEC components among you. As I told you that there can be case study, there can be programming or mini project assignment, there can be presentation. You have to arrange the group of 3 or 2 people. You have to select some topic, and then you have to arrange the Zoom meeting among yourself, and you have to present the presentation. You may have 7 or 8 slides, and you should present. You should record that presentation, and you should send that video clip to me as a submission. So this is one part. We call it as a presentation. Then those people who are doing case study, case study or programming assignment, they have to submit something like this. I think you are already familiar in second year. So this is a typical SHGMC format. It is compulsory for everyone to submit the report, maybe I don't suggest a handwritten. You submit a hard copy at whenever you will report in the college. But before that, you should submit the soft copy in typical format. Anyway, it contains the title, subject guide, teacher, student roll number and whatever, then department and all that. And you have to mention something, a TEC component number 2, 3, 4, whatever. So different TEC component like presentation, seminar, case study, survey, industry visit, different numbers are there. You can get and from that or college site. Okay. Second thing that I suggest you keep visiting the FTP server. I have already given, if you enlarge this diagram, you will get the IP address 107, 103.107.17.41. This is the IP address of FTP. You will be doing the practicals in same server by using PuTTY or WinSCP tool. So visit, serve the folders with lectures, PDF, PPTs, much study material, and some programs are there. It will help you to learn SS in different way. And there is one more tool that is called as a PLAP, JPLAP. So that tool is used to build grammar, to build the Moore and Millet machine, to build the FA, DFA, PDA, push down automata. Lot many means it is a versatile tool which can be used to build the whatever you learn machines in a SS and TOC. That JPLAP is there. It is simply a jar file. You have to download it. You have to ensure that you should have the Java runtime environment at your end, and you can directly run it. You can, whatever you are learning, means maybe in second year or third year, you can directly input those grammars and you can do some operation or processing. So these are the topics. I suggest you download the screenshot, take the screenshot. So these are the serial numbers. These are fixed. These are the topics. So please listen me carefully. So there are 2 slides, 20 points are there, 20 topics are there. You have to choose any one. Means maximum, you cannot repeat. You have to submit that to me on my personal WhatsApp, which topic you are choosing. Means topic number 1, 2, or 3. So, and there is a TEC type is there. P means a programming assignment or mini project, or C means a case study. S means a seminar presentation. D means demo. Demo means what? You have to do some program running or something on your site, and you have to connect with me through some Zoom or maybe Microsoft Teams or any other like Google Meet, and you have to demonstrate from your end execution of particular thing. So that is called as a demo, and you have to submit the report in that typical format which is given in the left corner. So anyway, first topic is there is a programming assignment on YAC 8. The long form is yet another compiler. I will be definitely, I don't know when practical will start, but I will be explaining how to use YAC and Lex, how to do the programming. But if you visit the FTP site, you will get the ready-made programs and instructions how to run it. The people who have Linux environment on your laptop, maybe in a virtual environment like VirtualBox or what we call it, VMware, right? So not many virtual environments are there. You can install, even though you may have Windows on your laptop, and you can install Linux or Ubuntu or Ubuntu or even CentOS, and you can, because these typical Linux tools are compatible with the Linux environment. It is very difficult to run on the Windows environment or some other operating system environment. So anyway, so first is a programming assignment. Second is there is a tool called as a Google Web Toolkit. You can Google it. You will get the information, and that is called as a GWT. So this is a topic you have to survey through the YouTube videos, websites, and some material, and you have to generate some report that what is the Google Web Toolkit, what is the application, why it is required. So just do it. Then there is one more tool that is called as a monkey, spider monkey. I don't know, but people who are interested in web-based programming and all that, they will understand what is Spider Monkey. You learn about it. JIT, you know very well. It is a just-in-time compiler. Java is also a just-in-time. You use a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. You have to explain what is a Spider Monkey, its usage. You have to demonstrate the usage. You have to uh, take the screenshots, and you have to prepare the project report. So you can present it in terms of seminar, or you can present it in terms of case study. Third is a theoretical point, that is a data flow analysis in compilers, DAG, directed acyclic graph, and register allocation. So register allocation is algorithm. It is a case study. You have to prepare a report of 7 or 8 pages. Please remember that report should be 7 to 8 pages. Fifth is there, that is static analysis tool. See, there are tools like Coverity, SLAM, and S3. These tools are used to audit the source code. For example, there is a big project. That project is written in modules. So just imagine that there is a company like Boeing. Boeing has a very huge project. Now that project is divided into parts, and some part is given to the German IT companies. Some part of some modules are given to the Indian companies like Infosys or TCS maybe, and some part is given to the local companies in America. And like, so different parts are there. Now people are developing their modules on their own, and they are testing their modules. Uh, but these static code analysis tools gives the project manager or whatever the main bosses are there, they get the idea. They can analyze the code of different modules which are generated on different locations, and they can suggest, because that analysis gives you some indicators like red, green, blue. Red means danger, green means okay, and yellow means some problem can be there. So they can suggest the developers to correct something and modify something, maybe parameter passing or maybe whatever in that code. So that can be identified by static code analysis tools. So learn what is the static code analysis tool, why it is important. I will be definitely talking later. Then there is one more tool that is called as a SUIAA by Stanford University, and LCC and SPIM from Princeton University. Just learn about it. Then there is my favorite topic, Apache Spark. I will be giving you special weightage if you do something on the Spark, Apache Spark. You have to install at your end, you have to do something, and then you have to show something. So it may be the programming assignment or mini project assignment, or it may be case study. Then there is one more static code analysis tool, that is a Code Sonar or a Pharmacy or Simly. You do it. Then few more tools are there like Polyspace, Purify, Clockwork. You take the screenshot. Then last point is there, that is also important. Someone should demonstrate, or someone should write a case study on .com file, .exe, .bat file, and .a.out file. See, .com and .exe are executables on Windows environment, and .a.out is a Linux environment. You have to compare it. You have to compare in terms of the layout. See, if you have a PDF file or maybe image file, the file has something called as a header is there, data is there, text area is there, and some footer is there. So every file has some layout. It may be executable, it may be document file, it may be video file. So you have to explain everything in terms of layout and functionality. What is the difference in COM and exe? I will talk later. Again, take the screenshot of this slide. So these are the 11, 12, 13, like, so programming assignments are there, many projects are there based on Python GUI. Basic means you have to build some Python GUI. Means like input screen, means like open, file, close, whatever, just a MS Word ka GUI hai waisa, but basic means close, exit, like. Then another point is integration, means you have to write some Python code so that you will be able to access the database in Oracle or maybe in MySQL. And I will talk later on this. Then there is a tool like GoAnna and QAC. Again, you can do the seminar or you can do the demo. Then you have to DEC component like cross compiler. For example, there are many cross compilers. You can take the example of C language. GNU.org is their site, and write everything about the cross compiler, write their advantages and whatever. Then there is a one topic that is called the ECMA script. See, your PDF files are there, right? So Adobe Photoshop or something. So that PDF document is written into PDF. See, you might be knowing that HTML script is there, XML script is there, lot many scripting languages are there, like ASP, PHP, lot many are there. But ECMA is typically for PostScript documents, like a PDF document. You learn it. I will tell later if someone asks me. Anyway, there is one more tool on 18th point, that is a JFlap 7.1. It is available on FTP. If someone try to choose this as a topic, I can help him. Then the last 2 points are there. So someone has to prepare the tutorial for the YAC and Lex tool. Means just like I will help you definitely. Just like last time I have shared one PDF solving the example number 4. That such that अगर आपका PDF किसी layman ने भी लिया तो he should be able to write some code in YAC, or he should be able to write some code in Lex, whatever the environment on his laptop. It may be Linux or it may be Windows on his environment, but you should have some 1 or 2 examples, small examples, and you should explain in detailed way along with the screenshots that what to do. Or even you can prepare your YouTube video and you can submit. So that the person who is a layman, just new man, he has just basic fundamental knowledge, but he will be able to do the programming in Lex or YAC by watching your tutorial, maybe documented tutorial, or maybe some YouTube video. Anyway, I hope you have taken the screenshot of slide number 16 and 17. Let us go ahead. Anyway, I will just finish it. 10 minutes are there with us. So just recall this diagram. It is a typical diagram representing the components of all types of bottom-up parser like CLR, SLR, LALR. So input buffer is there. We advance the input buffer one place ahead depending on the parsing actions. There is a stack which contains state as well as grammar symbols. So we may do push operation into the stack. We may do pop operation from the stack. Then depending on the first element, which is on the top of the stack, TOS, depending on the something pointed by the forward pointer, forward input pointer, we refer the parsing table. And depending on parsing table, we may do the shift operation or go to operation. So please revise my previous PPTs. In action, if you are doing action, there are 4 parts. One is a shift operation. There is a reduce operation by rule number N. Then there is a accept operation, or there is a error. Error means if there is a dash in that table, means some syntax error is there. You can invoke some synchronous like function to warn the user or a programmer कि भाई this error हो गई, आप वो remove कीजिए, and he will recompile the program like. And go to means simply change of the state. If your current state is a 6, and you are changing to state number 9, like. So anyway, I have repeated this. Now, why we pop twice the number of elements on the RHS that is there? What happens when we reduce by some rule, say 3, or say suppose if your rule is a 2. So see, refer in a blue box. There is a rule number 2. C giving you arrow, small c and capital C. So length of RHS is 2. 2 characters are there. So twice the 2 means 4 items will be there. Means when you are doing the reduce action by R2 means R means reduce, 2 means rule number 2. So you have to pop 4 elements from the stack. We have seen the stack. And why this twice? So first R symbols. R means it's the length symbols. So it indicates the number of states, state symbols in that stack. Stack contains state, some grammar symbol, then state, some grammar symbol, then state. The grammar symbol can be terminal or it can be non-terminal. Like, and second R indicates number of grammar symbols, means state symbols and grammar symbols. So that's why 2R, R plus R. So that is there. So I will talk later. So let us say there is a rule like A alpha, sorry, beta. So beta has some length like R. So twice R means 2R. So this is important part. You must understand this. Anyway, let us go ahead. Now this is situation. So we want to parse the statement given string, that is a CDD, and D contains, means a dollar is there at the end. It is a custom that to indicate the end of the parsing. In buffer, there is something called as a sentential sentinels. So it is a special symbol to tell the parsing algorithm or logic that parsing is over. नहीं तो फिर आप उससे भी बाहर चले जाएंगे. Anyway, so this is a initial state of the parser. Normally dollar is at the end of the stack, bottom of stack. 0 is the initial state. It is, you know, it is a usual because SLR parser contains states. Hello. हाँ हाँ बरं एक मिनिट थांब, मी लेक्चर मध्ये आहे. Sorry friends. Anyway, this is the initial situation where 0 is on the top of the stack, means you are just beginning the parsing. A string is given in red color. Now your forward pointer is pointing to the C, small c, in an input buffer. Now we have to refer the parsing table. Parsing table is just given you on the left side. See. Now 0 is a state. So see the table, there is 0. C is there. So on 0, state number 0 and C column, there is action, that is S3. So let us understand how to do it. So you can visualize that diagram. Just see this. Instead of writing every time like this, we can visualize this in terms of table. See, so what is it is telling? There are 5 columns are there. This is a table used for showing the moves of the parser. So step number 1 is there. It is step number. It is not a state number. Please note this. Top of the stack indicates the current state. Now it is initial state. That's why 0 is there. It is underlined. Then CDD and dollar is there, and C is underlined. Means C is pointed by the input buffer. Now if you refer the parsing table on 0C, there is a S3 action. So I have written S3 shift. And remark is that your next state will be 3. Now it means what? 0 is the current state, next state is a 3. Now you are doing shift operation. So what will you do? You will shift this C from the input buffer to the stack. So I am not using the word pop. Please note this thing. I am not using the word pop. I am not using the word push. I am not using that push and pop operation here. Here it is a plain simple shift. So just imagine you are shifting the C into the stack. So hope you are getting this. So this is step 2. So what happened? You have shifted C into the stack, and now your next state is a 3. So 3 is underlined. Now in input buffer, D is there pointed by the buffer because pointer is moved one place ahead. You have done the shift operation. Okay. Now again, 3 is on the top of the stack. D is appointed by the buffer. So go to the state number 3 in a table. So 3D giving you S4. So S4 is a action, shift action. So what it means, you are moving, shifting D into stack, and you are writing 4 on the top of the stack. It is just like this. I hope you are getting me. It is very simple. You can play this PPT later. Now you have shifted D and you have shifted 4. So your current state is 4. Here you see step number 3 is carefully. So 4 is there on the top of the stack and D is there. Only one D is there. Pehla wala D andar chale gaya. Now if you refer state number 4 and terminal D, there is a reduce action R3. Okay. So you are doing reduce operation by R3. So R3 means refer there CD. This is a production rule number 3, CD. उसका लेन क्या है RHS का? It is only 1. So लेन means right hand side में only 1 element है. तो हमको क्या करना है? We have to pop 2 elements from the stack. That's why I have painted D and 4 in a step number 3 in red color. Means 2 atoms are there. You just move them out. फिर बचता क्या है? 3 will be on the top of the stack, right? That's why we are computing 3C. Go to 3C. 3C क्यों? हमने पहले पॉप किया 2 एलिमेंट्स, बाद में हमने पुश किया LHS. LHS क्या है? लेफ्ट हैंड साइड C है, कैपिटल C. तो हम उसको कंप्यूट करते हैं. तो स्टैक में क्या रहेगा? स्टेट 3 रहेगा. इट इज इन ब्लैक कलर. रेड कलर को हम देखते नहीं. इट इज आउट. जस्ट इमेजिन दैट दे आर आउट. तो 3 के साथ में गो टू कंप्यूट करते हैं. गो टू 3C. तो इफ यू रेफर गो टू, तो गो टू इज देयर, एक्शन पार्ट इज देयर एंड गो टू पार्ट इज देयर. सो गो टू द स्टेट नंबर 3 and go to the column number C in go to part. So there is a 6 written. That's why go to 3C is 6. So you have to remove the atoms D and 4 from the stack. Then you have to push capital C into the stack. And then you have to write the new state, that is a 6. So let us see the step number 4. It is like this. So 6 will be on the top of the stack. And capital C is now into the stack. Now 6 is on the top of the stack. Small d is pointed by the buffer. Now refer state number 6 in the table, parsing table. And D, so there is a reduce action, that is R2. Now R2 contains a production rule C giving you small c and capital C. Its length is 2. So twice 4. So you have to remove the twice elements from the stack. So friends, I hope you are getting me. You have to pop 4 elements. That's why I have painted them in red color. Now 0 will be in the stack. That will be on the top, right? So that's why we are computing go to with 0. 0 is 5th element in down the stack. क्योंकि 4 तो हमने निकाल लिए, 5वां वाला जो है that is a state 0. So we have popped 4 elements, then we have pushed the right hand side, sorry, LHS that is a capital C. Rule is something C arrow small c and capital C. So that is a RHS, twice the RHS length. LHS is a capital C. We are pushing capital C into the stack and we want to compute. Capital C insert करने के बाद में we have to compute next state. So there will be 0 in the stack क्योंकि हमने 4 items तो निकाल लिए. So we are computing 0C, 0 capital C. So 0 capital C, it is a go-to part. So refer the 0th line, state line, 0C. So it is giving you 2. See, it is on a bluish shade in a parsing table. So see the 5th line like this. So just it is for interpretation. Those people who already understood, they don't worry about it. But it's for those you have to visualize. It is something situation like this. You just remember this line number 4, step number 4. It is a matching like this. So D is only one element remaining in the buffer. Dollar is at the end. Then 6 was on the top of the stack. This is the step number 4. When you refer the parsing table, you have to pop 4 elements. So you have popped 4 elements from the stack in step number 4. Now 0 is there at the end. You have computed the go-to. So the stack contains 0, then capital C, and then 2. 2 is on the top of the stack. And the pointer is there itself. We are not moving the pointer. It is not a shift operation. It is a reduce operation. So this is scenario. This is visualization. Anyway, so it is same thing. Now 2 is on the top of the stack. You see here, capital C is there, 0 is at the end. So line number 5, 2 is on the top of the stack. D is pointed by the pointer. So state number 2 and D, you refer the parsing table. So there is a S4. S4 is a shift action. So what you will do? You will shift. That is a D is underline and 2 is underline on line number 5, step number 5. So you will shift D into the stack. Then you will shift 4 as a next state. So see line number 6 like this. You are pushing D into the stack. I am showing it in red color. And 4 as a new state. Now there is nothing in the stack. There is a dollar into the stack. Means it is not empty. It contains dollar. So 4 is there on the top of the stack and dollar is there pointed by the pointer. Now you refer the state number 4 and dollar. So there is a R3 entry, means a reduce action, R3, reduced by CD. So rule number is, it is a 3. That's why it is R3. So RHS contains only one element. That's why we are popping 2 elements. So that's why I have painted D and 4 in red color. So you have to remove it. Then you have to, then 2 will be on the top of the stack. So you have to compute go-to. So go-to with respect to state number 2. And why C? C is a LHS. So go-to in bracket 2 comma C is 5. Just refer the parsing table. 2 and then C in a shaded area, bluish area, 5 is there. So in state number 7, it will look like this. So 0, capital C, 2, capital C, and 5. So this is there. Then again, 5 is on the top of the stack and dollar is there, pointed by the pointer. So $5. So refer the table, 5 and dollar. There is only R1 reduce operation. R1, that is a rule. Refer the box. It is a yes giving you capital CC. So 2 elements are there. You have to pop 4 elements. 2 into 2, 4. Means pop the 4 elements. Push the LHS of the production rule. That is yes. And then compute 0 to yes. Go to up 0 yes. So 0, why 0? देखिए लाल कलर के आइटम ने आपने निकाल लिए तो there will be only 0 in the stack. That's why we compute go to with respect to 0 and yes. तो go to 0 of yes क्या होता है? जाइए पार्सिंग टेबल में, शेडेड इसमें देखिए, ब्लूइश शेडेड में, एश कलर में, तो 0 go to 0, yes, it is 1, right? So ये जो रेड कलर का है ये सब आपको निकालना पड़ेगा, and in 8 state you will get 0, yes, 1. 0 will be there, always there in the stack. Then you have removed all those two, capital C, 2 and capital C and 5 as per the algorithm. Now 1 is on the top of the stack and dollar is there pointed by the buffer. Now just refer again parsing table. $1 there is accept. That's why in the remark we are writing announce success. So friends, I hope you got this. If you don't get, don't worry, I will cover similar example in next lecture. We shall learn it, but don't think that someone is telling you. You try to learn it from your side also. You download the PPTs, PDFs and go through that example. I have already shared the PDF with you, and there is nothing something complicated or something complex. If you patiently try to understand the concepts, it is easy. So anyway, I am going to finish this now. I request you to raise your hand so that I will understand that you are with me. So 50 students are there, 30 are not there. Anyway, people are going reducing. So I am thank you for Mujahid, Hruday, Shruti, Chinmay, Bharat Kumar, Prajwal, Mandar, Sonal, Sampada, Prasad, Suyog, Ashish, Sanket, Anurag, Aniket. So thank you all. We shall see again. We shall visit again. If you have any problem, just ask me on personal WhatsApp. Don't put any query on the general Mr. WhatsApp group, class WhatsApp. I thank you all for your patience. And if you wish, you can ask. Even you can phone me. You can talk with me. Thank you very much.